Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. In the miserable hospital, a slender woman was lying on a single bed, tied tightly to the bed by a belt, struggling with all her might and unable to move. Gu Yuling had large beads of sweat on his forehead, and his wrists and ankles had been frayed from the struggle, revealing valgus wounds oozing blood. Her eyes were splitting, bloodshot eyes, staring at the woman beside the hospital bed. Her half-sister Gu Ranjia. Gu Ranjia still had a gentle smile on her face, but there was no trace of warmth in Gu Yuling*'s eyes, as if she was looking at a dead person. My dear sister, it**s already now, what are you struggling with? Accept your fate. In the last days, you can still live happily. Gu Yuling screamed desperately. Gu Ranjia looked happy. I let you steal the good life for more than 20 years in vain. Why, you are not satisfied. You are just a lowly illegitimate daughter. You should have been strangled in your swaddling clothes when you were born. My parents take you home, give you a bite to eat, and make you the second miss of the Gu family. **t you be grateful to Dade. Now sister, I just want your healthy heart. What **s there to hate about you? Your low life has never belonged to you since you were born. We have taken care of you for 20 years, and now it**s time for you to repay your kindness. It**s time. She abruptly tore off the tape from Gu Yuling**s mouth, and Gu Yuling cursed fiercely. Gu Ranjia, your family are all devils, and they will all be punished. Gu Ranjia laughed contemptuously. Retribution. It**s ridiculous. In a few days, you ll be a lonely ghost. When you re a human being, you can **t do anything about me. If you become a ghost, will you still be able to claim your life? Squeak. The door of the ward was opened, and a middle-aged man and a woman walked in. The man had a big belly and a shiny face, but the woman was well-maintained and looked only in her 30s. Gu Yuling**s eyes seemed to be poisoned. This is the good parents who have deceived her for more than 20 years. Jia, you re about to have an operation, you have to supplement your nutrition. Why are you still wasting your time with her? Fan Lan took Gu Ranjia**s hand and said with concern. Mom, I endured it for 20 years. I can finally make this little bitch disappear from my eyes. I am happy. Gu Ranjia said with a smile. Okay, when the operation is over, we Jia will be a healthy child. If we try harder, maybe Mr. Xiong will fall in love with you and climb up the Xiong family, and our family will soon become prosperous. Yes. Fan Lan said with a smile. Gu Ranjia blushed. Mom, what did you say? It was such a happy scene of a mother**s kindness and filial piety. Gu Yuling suddenly began to laugh wildly, and she burst into tears. She was really blind, and she was deceived for 20 years. She treated these wolf-hearted beasts as her family, and she was sincere, and even took her own life. Fan Lan looked at Gu Yuling in disgust. Jia, I think she **s crazy. Ignore this bitch. Go home with mother. 3 days later, Gu Yuling was tied to the hospital bed and pushed into the operating room. Before the anesthesia was injected, she stared at her eyes that were almost out of her sockets, and deeply remembered the appearance of the 3 of the Gu family. When she turns into a ghost after her death, even if she doesn't have her own consciousness, she will definitely go to this family of 3 for their lives with this obsession. The dazzling sunlight shone into the floor-to-ceiling windows of the hotel. The bed was a mess, the 2 intertwined bodies moved slightly, and Gu Yuling woke up first. She is still immersed in the pain and despair of death, her eyes are full of anger and hatred, but reality tells her plainly that this body still has body temperature and heartbeat, and she is still alive. A lot of memories poured into his mind. Gu Yuling groaned in a suppressed way, his expression stunned. Could it be that God has eyes, and found that she was unwilling and wronged? Did this give her a chance to come back? She actually went back to 5 years ago. This year, she was just 21 years old. She graduated from university. With longing and anticipation for the future, she wanted to start a new life. It was also this year that Gu Ranjia secretly used her design draft to apply for the designer of Xingshi Group, but she failed the interview due to an accident, and it went from bad to worse after that, as if she was cursed. In the end, no one even remembered Gu Yuling. She was deceived and imprisoned by Gu Ranjia. She held a shred of hope in the lie and became Gu Ranjia/S gunman, making this hypocritical and vicious woman famous. And by coincidence, she was reborn on the day when the accident happened. Gu Yuling turned his head slightly to his side, facing a pair of deep eyes. Xingjing Sun. She recited the name silently in her mind, only to find it ridiculous. Yesterday, she was persuaded by Gu Ranjia to come to this hotel and accidentally drank medicated wine. Gu Ranjia had prepared some strange men for her, but she panicked and went to the wrong room. By accident, he had a relationship with Xingjingxuan. In the whole city almost no one knows Xingjingxuan/S name, not only because the Xingshi Group is in the limelight, but also because he is the next heir of the behemoth Xing family, and countless women flock to him. He is 20.5 years old this year, but he doesn't have any scandals. He doesn't look like a rich second generation. Gu Yuling knows that this man is Gu Ranjia/S target. Mrs. The funny thing is, she probably didn't know that last night she personally put her sister on the bed of the person she admired. Have you seen enough? A low, hoarse voice sounded. Xingjingxuan pushed her away, picked up his clothes and put them on. His eyes swept across the blood on the bed. He moved, pursed his lips, and said coldly, "What compensation do you want?" "No need for anything, this incident is just an accident," Gu Yuling replied. Xingjingxuan was unmoved. "Make your request." Gu Yuling had just been reborn, pulled by the memories of her 2 lifetimes, and was trying her best to suppress the anger in her heart. Just a little spark could make her explode. She looked up at Xingjingxuan and smiled coldly. "Compensation. Don pretend, you can marry me home. Since you can be responsible, Don pretend to be a holy father, I just accidentally got into bed with you, I wouldn't cry and jump into a river to commit suicide, sir, I think he looks down on himself too much." Xingjingxuan was startled, his expression was slightly annoyed, he glanced at Gu Yuling with cold eyes, turned and strode away. Gu Yu moved his sore body, and sighed after realizing it. This incident was just an accident, and Xingjingxuan/S actions were not scumbags. Annoyed, the phone suddenly rang. Seeing the words Gu Ranjia on the screen, Gu Yuling grabbed the phone tightly, her fingers turning white. She closed her eyes and patiently answered the phone. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.